tuck it in, right?
Yeah. Get on that side so we can get inside. This one we just gotta shut it down. That way we have enough room to do it.
So you can go up.
Yeah, we will once it gets up there. So take it all the way up.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Right there. All right, our gasket finally showed up. It was a week late. Just ridiculous. So we're gonna go ahead and swap out this gasket, put some grease on the O-rings over here, get everything ready to install this intake manifold, and hopefully get this motor back in the car because this is taking way too long. While I was waiting on the gasket to show up, we started on a chicken coop, so we were hoping to have it painted today, but the wind's been just too crazy. So hopefully get the wind done, and then I just got to do the roosting bars inside. So maybe I'll throw in some pictures or video of that real quick. All right, let's get this Touareg going. All right, so I think we got everything ready. Intake manifold's on, serpentine belt tensioner is all on. I went ahead, after I got the intake on, I put my spark plug coils and put the connectors on, snapped that into place. Went ahead and put my cooling lines on, connected down to the thermostat housing and to the rear of the block back here. Just tied up some hoses. I got my fuel lines all connected. Fuel pressure sensor back connected. Fuel rail pressure connected. So that's all looking good. Vent lines are all in the right place. So I think we're ready to go. We got the jack stands out, and we got our new Badlands jack. So far, we like it. Seems to be good quality, a lot better than the Touareg. Touareg's what made the road dog that we have over there. But we'll see how it holds up. Just seems like a better quality built jack. So obviously the other one of them only lasted like 6 months. So I'm going to start sliding this under and get it back in the car. See if we can get it running either tonight or tomorrow. Hopefully we don't run into any snags. Trying to burn some cardboard as I'm doing this to kind of make some room in the shop. But I'm ready to get this thing running and see if we fix that tapping noise with the lifters. All right, let me get this in there. I'm not doing any recording of this, just because you guys have seen me do it. If you got any questions, just let me know. One thing I did want to say though, this is installed this intake several times. I did a video on it. What I do recommend, what I did this time, is I left the fuel rail, the lower fuel rail, completely out. Set the intake on, lined it all up, no bolts. Then took the fuel rail in and lined up this fitting right here as I set my fuel rail in, and then it just bolted right in. Easiest time I've had putting the intake on. Of course, I had this off. I had this black fuel line up here off, and this jumper hose here, jumper line. So reverse assembly, put your jumper cable here, or jumper pipe here on, that connects to the upper fuel rail. All right, so we finally got the car back together. We just topped off, or I just filled it up with fresh motor oil. It's got a new filter in it when we had the motor out. We drew a vacuum down, held it, so it doesn't look like we have any leaks, so we topped it off with coolant. Volkswagen Violet, I think is what the Violet colored antifreeze. Headlights look pretty good, I think. So we topped off the power steering fluid with the wheels up. When we're putting on the liners, we turned the wheels back and forth, stop to stop, several times to try to bleed some of that air out. Hopefully reduce how much noise that power steering pump makes when we first kick it on. I did just a manual bleed on the brakes. We'll probably do another electronic one once we get it running. But should be good. I think we're ready to fire it off. See if she goes. It's running. Let's give you a back shot so you see your headlights. Got another delay on this Touareg. This first injector, I think that's cylinder 2. The O-ring, let's see if I can focus. That O-ring blew apart. I inspected these O-rings before I put them on, so I'm not sure why we keep blowing this injector O-ring. But nobody stocks it, so I got to order one. O'Reilly says I can get it here tomorrow. A lot of faith in that one, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm gonna get on the phone and see if we can get an O-ring. All right, so I think I know why I keep blowing a injector seal. If you look, this is what my intake manifold bolt that holds the lower fuel rail on should be like. Threads right off the beginning. This one, watch how far it goes in. So we got about 1/2 inch of thread that goes on there. So I'm going to drill that out and put a thread repair kit on it and see if that helps. I'm gonna check the back one too, see if we need to do it to any of the other ones. All right, so I got the hole drilled out. I got it retapped until it's nice smooth threads. I can do it by hand. So I'll pull this tap out and I'll blow it out with air. Gonna clean it out, maybe some brake cleaner in there too before I put that thread helicoil in. The biggest thing you want to keep in mind is that helicoil, that has to sit at least 1/4 inch below the surface. So you want it in there, you don't want it flush. So, all right, let me clean out that hole and we'll stab that helicoil in there. All right, so I checked the other holes. I got this one done. The middle one's good, but this one out here in the back is almost as bad as this one. So I want to redo that one as well. But I can't get my drill down in there. So what I got is this little right angle attachment that goes onto my impact driver. So I just mark my tape how deep I want to go. It's at the thickness of the helicoil plus 1/4 inch. That's what they want. So this is going to allow me to get in there with it in the car. And it's a pretty slick little attachment. You can kind of see it just pivots. So I'll have the drill up top. You can hold it like that and drill right in. So that's what I'm gonna get ready to do. So I got the intake manifold bolted back down. Connected my vacuum hoses on this side. Put in my mounting bolts. Well, I wanted to show you this time around, I took all that off. The lifting point, the 2 hoses, made it much easier to get this fuel rail manifold assembly back on. So we'll go ahead and tighten up that lower fuel rail pipe. That's the first thing to go on, and then we just start piecing it together. Yeah, hopefully here we'll be test running it. There's our cold start on the Volkswagen. It smells like cat urine. All right, so far the Touareg VR6 has been doing good, been running smooth. Noises are gone, but we are noticing some issues with the brakes. We had a really hard time bleeding the brakes, the air out of the system. The other times I never had to bleed the inside of the rotor. This one we actually had to force bleed just the inside of the rotor. The caliper. We had to force bleed the inside of the caliper. On these particular calipers, they have a bleeder valve on the inside and the outside of the calipers. So in the past, just opening the outside seemed to work. This one would not. We could not get the air out of the system until we did it through the inside bleeder valve on the caliper. So we got that figured out, and then we noticed a couple things just test driving it. As you notice, when I step on the brake, well, sometimes it'll cause the engine to stumble. And of course, it's not going to do it now on camera. But so started thinking, after our experience with the black one, I'd already replaced this one because it got damaged, or was damaged on our first run at pulling the engine out. So this section's replaced from the vacuum pump all the way back to the firewall. But we haven't put the wiper blades on because of this. When I lift up our, hold on. When we lift up our cowl, hoping it comes out on the picture. If you look right on the brake booster, I'll try to zoom in on it. See those cracks? I don't know if it's coming out on the camera. There's a bunch of cracks on that. So I'm just going to reach down over and wiggle this and see if it kicks the pump on. You can hear the vacuum. Just touching it like that, we're losing vacuum boost to the brakes. So we're gonna fix this using some oil resistant 3/8 fuel line. That's what I did to the TDI. We haven't had any issues, and probably solve any kind of vacuum leaks we might have. So let's do that. So we got something we've been looking for. We just picked this up today from Carson City. 2,000 pound or 1 ton hoist setup. So we're pretty excited. This will help us out a lot with our diesel engines, trucks, and the moving the engine on and off the subframes on the Volkswagen. So pretty stoked. Added some equipment to the shop. All right, so we got the car running. Everything sounds good. We put a few miles on it. That's going to probably be a wrap for this video. We plan on putting quite a few miles on this car. We want to just give it a good thorough driving, make sure nothing else pops up since we have had so many issues with it. So that's the plan. Put quite a few miles on her, and then see how she runs and make a decision if we're going to sell it. So we got no check engine lights. Everything's been running good. Temperatures stay right where they need to be. And so yeah, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe, and we'll move on to the next project. Thanks for watching.